Purito is a really exciting Korean brand to me. I mean, everything I've tried from them has been really impressive, from the ingredient formulation down to the really affordable price. So give this video a big thumbs up because today we're going to be reviewing a sunscreen that I have been extremely excited to try. This is the Purito Centella Green Level Safe Sun Sunscreen. Now we're going to be doing an ingredients deep dive, find out what makes this sunscreen a little bit different from the other sunscreens available. Plus, we're going to find out, does this take the top spot for my favorite sunscreen? Now, besides just protecting you from UV rays, the Purito Centella Green Level Sun Cream actually claims to address the main drawbacks of conventional chemical sunscreens like irritation, sore eyes, and white cast. Now, this is a chemical sunscreen that uses two different filters to protect you from the sun. The first is diethylamino hydroxyl benzoyl hexyl benzoate. This is also marketed as Uvinyl A+. Now, this is the filter that is going to protect us from UVA rays. Now, if you remember, UVA, don't forget that A, you can remember it by remembering aging. These are the rays that penetrate deeply into our skin that can destroy our collagen structure. These are the rays that are responsible for premature wrinkles on the skin, the loss of elasticity on your skin. These are also the rays that can cause skin cancer. Now, the second chemical filter that is being used here is ethyl hexyl triazone. Now, this is also marketed as Uvinyl T150. Now, this is the filter that's going to protect us from the UVB rays. Easy way to remember that, B equals burn. These are the rays that hit the top surface of our skin that are responsible for causing burning or tanning. They create that melanin process on our skin. Now, this is also a sunscreen that is rated SPF 50 with a PA of +4. So you're getting very good protection from this sunscreen. Now, Purito has excluded the use of chemical filters that are well known for causing irritation on the skin, like oxybenzone. They have also eliminated the use of avobenzone, which is a well-known chemical filter that causes that sore eye or stinging eye feeling from other sunscreens. Now, the word Purito is a combination of two words. It's a combination of the word purity as well as the word to, which is the word for a Chinese character that stands for roots or soil or earth. And that's really what Purito is all about. It's all about getting back to the purity of our roots and the purity of our earth, which is why Purito is really dedicated to using only green level rated EWG ingredients. And I'm happy to say that every single ingredient on this sunscreen actually checks out at the green level rated 1 or 2 on the EWG scale. And in fact, that is where the name for all of the products in the green level line come from. EWG green level, Purito Centella Green Level Sun Cream. So let's talk ingredients. There's about 3 standouts here besides the chemical filters that I want to talk about. And the first is going to be, of course, Centella. I mean, it's in the name, right? Now, Centella, we know it's pretty much everyone's favorite ingredient because it's so great for soothing the skin. It's great for facilitating wound healing, and it actually can help your skin retain more moisture. But did you know that Centella is also a really potent antioxidant for your skin, which is pretty exciting to be in a sunscreen because when antioxidants are actually combined with UV filters, you're going to be getting better sun protection because the antioxidants help to shield your skin from sun damage. Now, don't get me wrong, you got to have both. You have to have the UV filters to protect yourself, but when you put it in combination with antioxidants, you're going to get better protection in the long run. Now, Purito really markets the Centella for its collagen stimulating properties, and I do find that pretty exciting because when you think about it, UV damage can actually really mess around with the collagen structure of your skin, and that's what's going to cause the premature aging. So when you add an ingredient like Centella that has anti-aging properties to it, you know that you're going to be protecting your skin from the damage. But I have to be honest with you, I'm more excited about the antioxidant protection that you're getting from the Centella. Now, Purito claims this sunscreen to be very hydrating and moisturizing on the skin. They definitely tell you that this sunscreen is not going to dry dry your skin out. And I have to say that I did find that to be the case. Now, the use of hyaluronic acid here is important because this is a very good humectant that draws a lot of hydration to your skin all day long. And this is one of the many ingredients that are adding to the water content of this sunscreen. And in fact, Purito says that their sunscreen is actually made up of a 70% water base. And this makes a lot of sense because this is a very hydrating and moisturizing sun cream. And tocopherol, pretty fancy name, but really what it just stands for is vitamin E, another potent antioxidant. Vitamin E can actually protect your skin from environmental stressors, so it's pretty exciting to see that in combination with these UV filters, plus the other antioxidant protection that we're getting from the Centella. And in fact, when you look through the copy that Purito has written about the sunscreen, they actually say that tocopherol creates a protective layer on your skin. So they really know that the use of antioxidants is creating an additional layer of protection in addition to the UV filters being used here. I also want to point out that the Purito Centella Green Level Sunscreen is free from any drying or simple alcohols. It's free from synthetic colors and fragrances. It's also free from PEGs, mineral oil, and silicones. Now let's talk texture. The texture of this is a pretty traditional sun cream, and it comes out as a white color, which had me a little bit concerned at first, especially for a sunscreen that claims no white cast. I was a little concerned to see a pretty traditional chalky white cream. But my fear dissipated as soon as I started to spread this across my skin, because it almost turns into like an invisible cream once you start to spread it on your skin. So that white goes away very, very quickly. Now, this is what I like to call a neutral sunscreen. This feels like nothing on your skin. Just to use the word lightweight is not enough. This is like invisible. Invisible to the eye and invisible to the feel on your skin. I can't emphasize enough how amazing it is to put a sunscreen on your face and not feel it. At least for me, I just seem to always have issues with sunscreens feeling too heavy or too greasy, or they kind of create a weird layer, like a film on my skin, and this does nothing like that. This is so impressive. You would almost forget that you put it on because you just can't feel it. It is that lightweight, and it's just, it feels so good on the skin. Now, I would say that this dries down, I call it a matte-ish finish, and I think really the more appropriate word here is what I used before, which was neutral. Because when I use the word matte, I don't want you to confuse that with the feeling of drying, because sometimes I see the word matte and my mind automatically kind of fills in the word drying, and this is not a drying sunscreen at all. This is definitely going to be appropriate for those of you who have dehydrated or dry skin who want moisturizing sunscreens. This is going to do that. But unlike other moisturizing and hydrating sunscreens, it's not a dewy finish. This isn't a sunscreen that's gonna, add any dew to your skin, or let's be honest, shine to your skin. This isn't gonna make you shiny when you put it on, and it's not gonna make you shiny in the middle of the afternoon too. So maybe the more appropriate finish for this is neutral. Now, as I said, Purito does not use synthetic fragrance in this sunscreen. However, there is still fragrance being used here, and that fragrance is coming from essential oils, specifically lavender oil, which disappoints me, to be completely honest with you. I have such mixed feelings on essential oil in skincare to begin with. Mostly because I've had bad reactions to the use of essential oils in skincare in the past. But it's just such like an odd thing, because not every product or every essential oil gives me irritation. So I'm still kind of on the fence whether they're good, they're bad, I'm indifferent, who knows? And it's really a product by product basis, at least from my personal experience. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there do know specific essential oils do not work for your skin, which is why I want to kind of really highlight that and make it obvious that there is lavender oil being used in here. and you're gonna know it as soon as you open up this cream because you can smell it. Now, it's not a heavy scent, it's not perfumey, we're talking natural lavender oil here. And if you're familiar with the Purito Buffet Serum, it is a very similar scent. It's also a very similar scent level to it. It is there, you will smell it, you can't deny it, but it's not heavy and it's not offensive, if that makes sense. Now, I did test this out quite a few times with the scent in mind, and every time I kind of tested it or clocked it, so to speak, you could smell it as soon as you put it on your skin, and as you started to apply it, you could still smell it, although the smell started to decrease as soon as you started to put it onto, like kind of rub it into your skin. And I would say from out of the bottle to application, and then after that, within a minute, the scent was gone. So don't feel like you're gonna be walking around smelling like a lavender field. You're not. It's a very light scent. But I am happy to say lavender oil is the only essential oil being used here. And there are other problematic essential oils being used in sunscreens like orange oil, as well as, of course, bergamot oil. And I'm happy to report that those problematic essential oils are not being used, but beware if you do have sensitivities to lavender. And white cast. Purito really markets this as a sunscreen that has no white cast, and I'm happy to say that claim really holds up in my book. There is no white cast. As I mentioned, once you start to spread it, it becomes this like invisible cream on your skin. And I actually have seen this on quite a few different skin tones, including skin tones much darker than mine, and this has worked. And in fact, I have seen this work for people of color as well. So if you have struggled to find sunscreens that do not have a white cast, especially if you have a darker skin tone, I would definitely say check this one out, because you might be finding your perfect holy grail sunscreen, at least in terms of white cast, in this one. So I obviously like this sunscreen. I mean, when I talk about my experience with this, I think I've already kind of given it away. I'm pretty excited about this sunscreen, and it worked perfectly for my skin. So I definitely had no irritations from this sunscreen, and I have to be honest with you, I have had irritation from sunscreen in the past. Usually the irritation will come in the form of flushing immediately as soon as I apply the sunscreen, and just a general kind of slight irritated feeling. And of course, I felt nothing like that while using this sun cream. This worked perfectly under makeup. As I mentioned, the finish on this one is kind of matte-ish or neutral, so it didn't mess around with my makeup throughout the day. It didn't make me look more dewy or, let's face it, more shiny. It didn't do that at all, which I really appreciated. And I can't feel this sunscreen on my face, which I love. Also, no issues with pilling and no issues with it not staying on the face. You know, I wouldn't call this sweat proof necessarily, but it certainly wasn't a sunscreen that if I did sweat that it ran into my eyes. So I do feel like it has decent staying power. Wouldn't call it sweat proof, but I do feel like it has very decent everyday wear. Now, Purito does claim that this is going to be a sunscreen that won't irritate your eyes, and while I had no irritation in my eye area, to be honest with you, just to let you guys know my experience, in my entire life, I've only ever been irritated by a skincare product around my eye area like twice. So I'm just really not prone to irritation in my eye area. And in fact, the two products that irritated me in the past were not sunscreens. So I'm just really not sensitive to sunscreen in my eye area. So I can't really speak to that claim that Purito makes that this will not irritate your eye area. You guys out there who do have a sensitive eye area, you guys know to proceed with caution, but I do want to let you know, no problem in that area for me. Now, as I was gathering my thoughts about this video and what I wanted to tell you, the most essential things I wanted to tell you about this product, I couldn't stop thinking about a different sunscreen. And I just really didn't want to bring it up because, you know, this video is about Purito, and I really don't want to talk about any other sunscreens in comparison to the Purito, but you know what? I have to go there because you know when you've tried a product in the past that has just like completely become your holy grail, exceeded all your expectations, any product you try after that one, you're always going to be comparing it to that holy grail. Am I right? And in fact, I've actually been asked by a few of you guys through Instagram, you know, do I like this product better than my holy grail sunscreen? So I gotta go there. We gotta talk about the Claire Soft Airy UV Essence in comparison to this Purito sunscreen. So to answer the question that you guys have asked me, do I like this better than the Claire's? I don't know. To be honest with you, I honestly think I like them equally. And this is actually quite surprising to me because the Claire Soft Air UV Essence, when I tried that late last year, it literally blew my mind. I'm not kidding. Like, this was the very first sunscreen that I ever put on my face that I was like, whoa, I can't feel this. There's no weight. There's no like finish to it. It's not irritating. It's not drying out my skin. Like, that was my first experience with just a really, really like almost perfect sunscreen. So do I like this better than Claire's? I don't know. I think they're actually so similar. And in fact, I would say it's a photo finish between the two. And I can't really tell which one edges ahead of the other. They both might have to sit at my top pick. I have been reaching for both interchangeably, to be honest, and I can't tell too much of a difference. However, there are a few. So let me just kind of like go down my list of the similarities and the differences between the two. So first things first, they use the same filters. They actually are using the same chemical filters. So they are both avoiding the like well-known irritating chemical filters, and they're both using the same very, very cosmetically elegant chemical filters. The other thing I noticed is that, you know, they both have the same really lightweight to like weightless feel on the skin, which is essential, at least in my book. Now, here's where the differences come in. Claire's is a little bit more of a gel-like texture that's going to give you a slightly dewy finish on your skin. Whereas the Purito, as we've said, a little bit more of a cream texture, and the finish on this one is matte to more of a neutral. Now, I also noticed that the scent on the Claire's is a lot lighter. They are still using actually a mix of essential oils in the Claire's, but it's just a lot lighter on the nose. And the Purito, as we mentioned, that lavender oil, it is very prominent in the sunscreen. And I mean, we got to talk price here. The Claire's is about $23 and the Purito retails about $16. So when it comes down to it, the real pros of the Purito Centella Green Level Sunscreen are the fact that it has an awesome formula. It's got great wear. It's really lightweight. It's moisturizing on the skin. It's not drying. It has no irritation. And of course, the price is just about right. The only con that I have with this sunscreen is the fact that it contains lavender oil. Now, for the Purito sunscreen, I would say this is actually appropriate for all skin types, but I especially want to point this out as being a good option for those of you who do want a non-drying sunscreen with a neutral finish, but who have a little bit more sebum production on your skin, because as I said, this is more of a neutral finish that's not going to make you shiny throughout the day, so I think that this could be a really good option for you. I would also recommend this one for those who are struggling with white cast in their sunscreens. Definitely check this one out. Now, as I mentioned, this retails $16 and you get 60 milliliters for that. So I'm curious to know, what's your favorite sunscreen lately? Or have you just not quite found the right one for you? Let me know in the comment box below. And if you've made it this far and you're not already subscribed to my channel, why don't you hit that subscribe button? I release 2 new skincare videos every single week, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you never miss when I upload the new video. I absolutely cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. I hope you're having a really beautiful day, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Bye, guys.